Hey Mama, welcome back. Today we're talking about heart palpitations. Have you had this experience? Your heart pounding out of your chest or fluttering? It's quite scary. So we're going to talk about the 5 tried and true ways to calm down those heart palpitations so you can feel relaxed again. If you're excited to know why you're having these heart palpitations, especially after childbirth, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe bell to be notified of my new natural postpartum recovery video released each Tuesday. If we haven't met, I'm Tara Gregorio, certified women's herbal educator with Dr. Aviva Ram and mama of twins. I've helped hundreds of moms integrate natural remedies and go from overwhelmed, sleep deprived, and constantly activated to feeling calm, refreshed, and present again. If that sounds like you, something you want, and you're serious about your postpartum recovery, make sure you join the free masterclass below to get to the root cause of your symptoms. So I must say, check with your doctor, of course, to make sure you don't have any underlying symptoms that is of concern. So make sure they're checking your vitamin levels, your thyroid levels, particularly vitamin D, maybe omega-3s or vitamin B, and to make sure that it's not a nutrient deficient or iron levels. It's not a nutrient deficiency that's going on creating these heart palpitations. I'm all about getting to the root cause of why this is happening. So here are some reasons you're having heart palpitations, particularly after childbirth. Most likely it's due to blood sugar regulation. So when your blood sugar drops, you will get that cortisol spike and heart palpitations, leading to a panic attack because of your blood sugar dropping. So we're going to talk about how we can fix that a little bit, but that is most likely the number one reason, particularly during pregnancy and the postpartum time. It could be due to trauma or nervous system regulation. And trauma, we don't always know we have trauma, right? A majority of us have trauma. It's just a matter of recognizing it. So one way you might know that you've had trauma in your life is if you're having recurring thoughts about a particular event that makes you feel unsettled. So I remember in the postpartum time, I had this image, this event. Every time I fell asleep, I'd wake up startled with that thought in my mind, that event in my mind. Key indicator that you have trauma that needs to be resolved. Because if we keep pushing the trauma down, it just ends up in our body and creates pain and discomfort. So trauma or nervous system regulation is definitely a reason for us having heart palpitations. Too much caffeine. Who else is living on caffeine, right? We tend to have several cups of caffeine during the day. I now just consume 1 cup before noon, but caffeine depletes our body of valuable vitamins and minerals, particularly magnesium, which is known as the calming mineral. So if you're going to consume caffeine, you want to increase your vitamins and minerals, particularly if your diet isn't ideal. And what does coffee make you crave? Sweet things, breaded things, carbohydrates. So every time we consume a cup of coffee, we want something else. If we consume a cup of green tea, we actually crave more fruits and vegetables. Isn't that crazy? So too much caffeine can cause those heart palpitations, and most likely it's due to the vitamin deficiency that's going on. So we want to restore our vitamins with supplements and or your diet, of course. Other reasons you're getting heart palpitations: not enough sleep, sleep deprivation, and or high cortisol. So your cortisol may be spiking, creating heart palpitations. Now, there are some underlying reasons your doctors will not catch when it comes to heart palpitations. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I had this experience over the past few years. Mold toxicity will create heart palpitations, long-term Lyme, and heavy metals. Those 3 build up in our body and create toxins. Most likely this is not the case for you in the postpartum time, but it did happen to me and it took years for me to figure it out. So mold toxicity is a huge problem and creates rapid heartbeats. One way to know if you have mold toxicity, if you've gained a lot of weight, maybe you moved into a new home or there recently was flooding, or you feel more comfortable outside of the home rather than in the home. So how can we stop these heart palpitations fast? We talked about blood sugar regulation. So let's dive into that a little bit because it's so important, especially in the postpartum time, especially if you're breastfeeding. You want to consume high quality proteins 2 to 3 times a day, depending on how you feel. But particularly when you wake up in the morning, think of a high quality protein. Can you have eggs? Peanut butter, maybe steak from the night before. I mean, things you probably wouldn't typically eat, but your body is demanding it now, especially due to the blood loss that you probably had during pregnancy. So think of consuming protein throughout the day, or particularly when you're craving sugar and noticing heart palpitations. Some other tips and tricks for blood sugar regulation is eating dessert after a meal, which makes sense. And the glucose goddess says dressing up your carbs. And what she means by that is putting a protein on top of your carbs. So hummus on top of it, peanut butter, cheese, meat. So you're putting things with your carbs so that your blood sugar spike isn't as large. She is pretty amazing. You may want to follow her on Instagram for other tips for regulating your blood sugar. Number 2 is incorporating the One Daily Tea blend. I suggest all moms consume. It will also help your breast milk and the quality of your breast milk if that's something, if you're still nursing. So the One Daily Tea blend has stinging nettles and milky oat tops. So look at this testimonial from Olivia and what happened to her when she had heart palpitations. So her direct words: I was in my 3rd trimester of pregnancy when I noticed very bad heart palpitations. The midwives wouldn't do anything about it. I kept mentioning it to them, but nothing was done. I had the baby, and up to 5 months postpartum, I still had bad heart palpitations. The doctors didn't think anything of it. She sent me to the heart cardiologist. I still haven't gone to the appointment, but I started watching Tara's videos, and I'm insulin resistant and wanted a natural remedy. She recommended stinging nettles to calm my nervous system, and I started drinking it 2 times a day. I noticed the heart palpitations were gone after 3 days of drinking it. I was impressed. Nettles, stinging nettles, which is part of the One Daily Tea blend, can help balance your blood sugar. I used to say have it with a piece of chocolate cake because you won't get as much of a blood sugar spike when you're consuming the stinging nettles. There's also a tea called milkmaid tea, which has stinging nettles in it. So if you are nursing and want a quick way to add in those nettles, look for the milkmaid tea. I'll leave a link below. So secret number 3 is no gluten. Is that surprising? So gluten has shown to spike our blood sugar, or I should say wheat, because most of us are consuming wheat rather than barley or rye, which are the other 2 gluten products. So it's wheat, barley, or rye, and it tends to be wheat that we're talking about the most. So we should actually say consuming wheat. So when we consume wheat, it tends to spike our blood sugar more, possibly causing heart palpitations and anxiety. So women with anxiety, people with anxiety tend to do better wheat-free or gluten-free due to the spike and maybe due to the inflammation or the quality of the gluten. So what you can do is try going gluten-free for 3 days to a week and see if you feel better, or just cut it down to 1 meal a day. So rather than having gluten breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which like most Americans do, can you replace that with rice, quinoa, buckwheat, millet? Can you explore other grains so that it's not always wheat that you're consuming? Let me know if you think you could give that a try. Number 4, the fastest way to lower your heart palpitations is with herbs, with botanicals. Now, the number 1 botanical for heart palpitations is one called motherwort. And just as the name suggests, it's great for mothers. So postpartum and beyond, way into menopause, it's a great botanical to help us stay calm and centered and relaxed during all these tumultuous years of so many challenges that we're encountering. So motherwort is quite bitter. You would probably want it in a tincture and not as a tea due to its bitterness. And all you would do is place the tincture, the drops, in water, in a little quarter cup of water, and drink it. Again, I prefer blended tinctures, but in the postpartum time, sometimes it's nice to try one tincture at a time so that your body gets used to that herb and you get used to using the botanical and knowing what that botanical is like. So what I mean by that is you're getting to know each herb like you're meeting a person or a friend, and you want to know what is helping you. Sometimes when you take a blended tincture, you don't know which tincture in that blend has helped you the most. So it's important that you get to know each herb and get to know how it's affecting you so that you can, going forward, take a blended tincture knowing which ones you like and which you don't like. But keep in mind, it is quite bitter. So moms have said that it bothered their digestion. So if you try it and notice it feels good, then look for a supplement, a blended supplement that has motherwort in it, and it's safe while breastfeeding. Look for a blended tincture with the motherwort in it to really help you navigate the heart palpitations and anxiety by calming your nervous system on all levels. What I mean by that is sometimes you need more than one botanical to help you with anxiety and heart palpitations. So motherwort is my go-to, but additionally, you want other nervines to calm your nervous system down, especially if you're getting cortisol spikes. Look for adaptogens and nervines to keep you calm. Let me know if you have any questions about that in the comment area below. And number 5, how can you stop heart palpitations immediately, is learn how to regulate your nervous system. The postpartum time is a time of chaos. There's so much going on. Your body has been through one of the biggest changes in your whole entire life. Your body needs healing, yet you're trying to care for a newborn or maybe several children and your partner and running a household. We really don't get enough credit for everything moms do. And it doesn't stop. As they grow, the challenges just keep changing. So nervous system regulation is so vital to you staying present and calm during motherhood, during the rest of your life, really. So watch this video to see about nervous system regulation exercises and how they can help you stay calm and present. And if you're serious about deep diving into a more comprehensive postpartum recovery plan, make sure you check out the free masterclass below to get started and to learn how you can soothe anxiety naturally. Additionally, if you'd like to book a free clarity call, you can do so with the link below, and I'd love to meet you and talk about how herbal remedies can help you achieve your health goals. I'll see you next week.